Every student trying to break into finance obsesses over this one document, the resume, but they completely ignore the one that could set them apart. The cover letter is where you can build your personal brand and tell the story that your resume can't. It could be the reason that a recruiter chooses to interview you over another student with the exact same stats on a cold apply. So if you're tired of feeling generic, I'm about to show you how you can use your cover letter to help you land your dream role in finance. Your resume should already contain all the important information that a recruiter needs to know, like your year, your major, your key experiences. So the real point of a cover letter is to build your personal brand and tell the story that your resume can't on its own. By reframing your cover letter as a storytelling piece, you're able to make your resume come to life. And it's basically like a prequel to the interview. By the way, if you're stuck sounding generic in your cover letters, it probably means that your resume bullet points are generic too. I've got a free resume template linked below that shows you how to write bullet points that actually get read. Go grab that before you write another cover letter. You can share a little bit more about yourself with recruiters before even sitting down in the interview and tell a story about yourself and how all of your different experiences weave into this grander story that makes you the perfect fit for the role, all before you hop on a phone call. Additionally, a lot of applications these days don't require you to upload a cover letter. All you really need is to upload a resume. And so many students often will skip uploading a cover letter because it just seems so repetitive and monotonous and time consuming really. However, taking the extra step to go above and beyond and fill out the cover letter, even if it's not required by the application, shows the level of dedication that you're willing to give as a candidate and does make you stand out if you do it in the right way. If you're submitting cover letters that are generic and sound like everybody else's, then sure, it's not gonna help you stand out. But if you provide a cover letter that brings your application to life, I can guarantee that for companies where the recruiters actually spend the time to read cover letters, you will have a higher chance at getting an interview. And pair that with knowing somebody on the inside after you made a connection from a cold DM, all of these different things are going to stack up in your favor in helping you land an interview from the thousands and thousands of applications sitting in the pile. Your resume should contain the raw data, whereas your cover letter should give it meaning. Use it to show why your experience matters and where you're heading in your career. How to avoid the generic finance student trap. If your cover letter could be copy and pasted by 100 other students, you're doing it wrong. And even for yourself, if you can copy and paste your cover letter from one application to the next for different companies, you didn't spend enough time crafting a good enough cover letter. A telltale sign of students sounding like clones in their cover letters is the classic introduction of, I'm a finance student at XYZ University with a passion for blah, blah, blah. Everybody applying to the same finance role is going to have a passion for that type of industry or that type of work. The way that you break this pattern is by sharing things that are unique to you that nobody else can say in their own cover letter. Every paragraph should contain at least one detail that only you could write, whether that be a club project outcome, a specific challenge, or a unique connection to the firm. Think about adding the necessary requirements to the dish. If you keep adding the same ingredient over and over and over again that everybody else uses, you won't come out with much. Think of the cover letter framework like a 3-course meal. Hook, proof, fit. Your hook should function as an appetizer. It should encourage the recruiter to continue reading down the page. Because again, recruiters will often spend less than 30 seconds, sometimes even less than 15 seconds on an application, specifically your resume, but much less your cover letter. So you want to give them a reason to keep reading. Moving on to the main course, your proof. This is where you should be providing undeniable evidence that your experiences will align with what the role needs. Most of the time, it's not going to be that you had a decade of experience in the certain industry that you're targeting. It's much more likely going to be proof that you have transferable skills that you have acquired and demonstrated in your student organizations or in your extracurricular projects or in volunteer work that are going to contribute to your story, your personal brand, and why you deserve the role. And finally, your fit is going to be the dessert. You could be stacked up against an applicant who has a 4.0 GPA, coming from a target school, who has had an internship every semester and every summer leading up to junior year. The way that you are going to distinguish yourself from that type of candidate is going to be through your fit in the role and the organization. You have to be able to provide some evidence or convince the recruiter reading that you will be the best fit for the job. And that doesn't necessarily mean you have to always compete on experience, but even name dropping people that you've networked with, or really telling a story of why you align with a certain value that the company has or a certain product that they offer. This is where, again, it's super important to have unique stories or themes or details that are only specific to you and that nobody else can copy and paste. No prior internships, no problem. Show relevance, not tenure. Again, hammering home the fact that you can cross the experience gap, not having internships or prior work experience, by filling in the blanks with class projects, student organizations, part-time jobs. As long as you're able to highlight transferable skills and tell a story that makes sense for the role, you can position your application to give you a shot at the role that you might not otherwise think you're qualified for. And the way to do this is exactly how you do so on your resume bullet points. You quantify your professional outcomes. And finally, your cover letter isn't just for employers. It's also a mirror for you. For me, writing my own narrative in cover letters helped me refine my personal brand. It forced me to clarify my direction and think about why I was actually applying to this role. And once you figure out very clearly what that personal brand is, you can take a modular template approach, which is what I did for my cover letters, where I wasn't writing every single one from scratch. I would have certain blocks, again, the 3 main courses, the hook, the proof, and the fit, where I could input a certain story that maybe aligns more to the type of role or the type of industry that I'm applying for, and not just change the name of the company that I'm applying to in the cover letter header, going a little bit deeper into including research that I've done on the company, on the industry, on the role, name dropping people that I've networked with, all of the different pieces that add up to crafting a really nice story for the recruiter to read. And at the end of the day, by defining your direction in a cover letter, it will help you to be much more prepared and confident showing up to an interview when you do land one, because you will know exactly why you are there and why you are the best fit for the role. If you found this helpful and you want to work directly with me one-on-one on your entire application strategy, from networking to resume building to interview prep, then check out the second link in the description below and apply to our mentorship program, From Scratch to Success. It's where we work with students to land the exact roles they want. So if you're ready to get serious, let's cook. I'll see you over there.